Ocho, the Dolphins beat the Jags, but the big news actually happened before the game.
Yes,
and
sir.
This is what happened. Tyreek Hill was detained by police Sunday, a block away from Hard Rock Stadium, for a driving violation. He was reportedly stopped for speeding and then got into a verbal altercation with the police and was subsequently placed in handcuffs. Dolphins teammate Calais Campbell, Jonnu Smith, stopped to offer support for Hill, leading Campbell detainment for disobeying a direct order. Miami-Dade Police Department released a statement requesting an immediate review of the incident. One of the officers involved in the Hill detainment was placed on administrative duties during the investigation. Note, not administrative leave, administrative duty, which means he's going to be at the desk. He's not going to be in the field. Let's take a listen to what Javon Holland and Tyreek had to say after the game about the incident.
And then I seen the clip, cop like kicked him or something like that. It was crazy. So that's got to get handled. You know what I'm saying? Excessive force on a black man, that's not uncommon. It's a very common thing in America. So I think that needs to be addressed at a countrywide level. So yeah, I don't think that shit is cool at all. But you know, it's not unnatural or not uncommon for cops to do that type of shit, especially the black man. So that needs to be addressed for sure.
I've been trying to figure that out too. Man. Right now, I'm still trying to put it all together. So I'm not gonna give you a version that I still don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to be able to use this platform to say, like, what if I wasn't Tyreek Hill, bro? So I got a lot of respect for cops, man. But obviously, you know, everybody has bad apples in every situation, you know. So I want to be able to, you know, use this platform, you know, to figure out a way to like flip this and, you know, make it a positive on both ends, on my end and then also Miami-Dade, you know, so that way we can team together and, you know, do something positive for the community.
Ocho, we're gonna discuss the game. But Ocho, this situation, you and I have driven the home games. I did it for 14 years. You did it for 11, 12 years.
Yes, sir.
So you know what it's like. Lay out, give the fans an idea. You go into the stadium, you got to be at the stadium. I mean, normally they ask you to be at the stadium 2 hours before the game.
Right.
So, okay, now, Ocho, you leave the hotel the night before the game. I don't know if you stay there the full time or you go back home and change, but you're on your way to the stadium.
Yeah.
Take the fans through probably what transpired with Tyreek.
I mean, well, obviously he was headed to the stadium. I mean,
correct.
The rest of, if I'm looking at the background, that's right outside the stadium, outside of Miami Gardens, because you can see the stadium, you know, in the background.
In the background.
So obviously he was right there. I'm not sure what actually happened. I'm not sure what time it was. I'm not sure if it was running late. So obviously, if you're stopping for a driving violation, the only type of driving violation you could have 2 hours before a game would have to be speeding of some sort, maybe not using your signal. I'm assuming something minor. Well, speeding is not minor, obviously. So I'm assuming he was pulled over because all I have to go off of is based on what we all saw. I mean, that's it. I think it's unfortunate. I think it's an easy fix. I think it was a very easy fix to where it didn't even have to get to this point to where it got to today. I'm not sure if cooler heads had prevailed in that time or in that manner, or him being detained wouldn't have happened in that situation. I think you and I have talked about it before. When you're stopped by the police and doing all you can to be able to resolve the issue without it going any further. You know, I'm not sure if Tyreek said anything. Maybe the officer was having a bad day. Was having a bad day, but there has to be some level of respect on both ends where this doesn't happen. The fact that I don't have the evidence on what really happened and what transpired for it to get to that point, it's hard for me to dig deeper and say some of the things I want to say outside of the fact it shouldn't get to that point, though. There should be a level of respect on both ends, obviously, especially Miami Police Department. If you work in a game, you're on detail at the game, and you know it's a player, obviously, maybe extending him a little grace if he is running late, letting him know, hey, Reek, if anything, just slow down a little bit, baby, because you got people, you got foot traffic. Obviously, there's a game going on, people trying to get to the game. Slow down a little bit. If you're going to be late, if anything, just take the fine or whatnot. Whatever it might have been. I don't know what it was. But again, I mean, as officers, knowing that there's a game getting ready to be played and knowing that it's a player, not saying he should be getting getting grace. Obviously, there are rules and laws that you have to abide by. But there's a certain level of respect that officers normally have for a player or in a situation and understanding what's going on. But in this case, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Yeah. I think the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, like when we go to the game, we were required to be to the game at least 2 hours before the game.
Yeah.
So our game will start at 2:00 because we're in Mountain Time. So we had to be there at least by 12. I normally got to the stadium about 4.5 hours before the game. So I normally got to the game the stadium about 4.5 hours before the game. So the traffic wasn't as heavy. But a lot of times they block it off because they don't want traffic. They want to be able to control the traffic coming in one way. They don't want the normal flow of traffic being able to come in all directions.
Right.
So a lot of times they'll have it blocked off. I was always conscious of that. And so, anytime I pulled up to an area and I saw police officers, I would like roll my window down to let them know this is Shannon. Because my window, I always had tint. But I wanted them to know that, hey, I'm Shannon, hey, I'm going to the stadium, and most of them recognize who I was. Hey, Mr. Sharpe, how you doing? Have a great game, so forth and so on. Now, obviously, the later you get to that cutoff time that teams have established, the more foot traffic is going to be coming.
Right.
And so, obviously, they don't want you speeding through there 50, not even 35 miles an hour. They probably want you around 5 to 10 miles an hour because there's some traffic. Like I said, I haven't been in Miami Stadium, Ocho, since 98. So I couldn't, actually we played them in the divisional round, but that's been so long ago, Ocho. So that's been over 2 decades. So I really couldn't tell you. And, normally when we come in on the bus, we got police escort. So it's a lot different when you got police escort as opposed to being, you driving yourself. And so you're absolutely right. I think the thing is for that minor of a traffic, he's speeding and you got to lay him face down.
Yeah. Hold on. Write him a ticket. Write him a ticket. There's no reason to detain him. There's no reason for him to be face down. But what you do have to think of if it's sort to that, if they resulted to the point of having to have him face down like that, I think there might have been some exchange back and forth.
Well, yeah, okay,
there might have been some exchange back and forth. That's the only time it gets to that point when an individual is being somewhat volatile towards the law. Then they take things in their own hands because as you get a little loud, what's the first thing they do? They try to detain you. They try to de-escalate
in that
the
situation. Ocho, in that situation, he's God. He got all the power.
Yeah.
He got a gun.
Yeah.
He got a taser.
Yes, sir.
He got a baton.
Yes, sir.
He got a bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
In that situation, he's God.
Yeah.
My thing is, anytime the police officer comes to my car, I get pulled over. My job is to get him to the car, back to his car, me on my way, he on his way, with as little conversation as possible.
Possible, yes, sir.
Okay, you pulled me over, Mr. Sharpe. You know how fast you were going. I really don't, but I welcome you telling me. Well, you was traveling such and such, and this must be. I say, I'm sorry, officer. I didn't know I was traveling that fast, but I'm gonna take your word for it. Because I'm trying to get him, Ocho. I'm trying to get him to my car, back to his car, as quick as possible.
Yeah.
The longer he stays at my car, the greater the chance that there's something that it can escalate. Now, a lot of times they're supposed to be in a situation where they de-escalate the situation.
Yeah.
But that's not always how. And plus, you think because you this, you that, you driving this car, you think you could. No, I don't think that. So that's my whole thought process. Right. How soon can I get him to my car, back to his car, or on his motorcycle, and get him on his way?
Right.
In a situation like that, Ocho, for Tyreek to be laid down, and it looked like I saw a video. It looked like the guy kneed him in his back. I thought that was unnecessary. Yeah.
He did all that.
He didn't kick him, but I thought he needed him. Now, I could be wrong, and maybe the video, maybe somebody, the video that I saw, maybe that wasn't how it happened. But it looked apparently to me that the guy did knee him a little excessive. And I'm not saying that he dropped the Ric Flair knee on him or something like that, in WWE.
Right.
But it looked like it was unnecessary. It seemed to me that it was unnecessary that you lay a man down in the street for a traffic violation. I can see it. The guy, he was traffic violation and he was wanted for some heinous crime. But I don't think that was the case.
No.
But I think what's going to happen, because this was so public, and it is the Miami Dolphins and Stephen Ross and the NFL now, is everybody getting involved. You're going to come to a quick resolution here.
Oh yeah, most
and I can
definitely.
assure you that probably won't happen again. I'm
No.
not going to say for categorically for certain, but there's a great chance that this won't happen again.
Yeah.
That guy might have been a little overzealous.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that Tyreek wasn't speeding, but I'm just saying I don't know if speeding warrants that. Laying a man down face down in the pavement, you put your knee in his back, you're handcuffing.
I mean,
listen, if you're gonna do all that, you might as well go on and take him down.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, and then that would make it even worse.
Yes,
that would make it even worse. And obviously, I wish the situation could have been rectified right away. There's a certain level of respect that, obviously, me being from Miami,
wish you hadn't got to that.
Not even close. Not even close. Not 2 hours before a game.
Right.
When the officers understand that, okay, whatever the driving violation may have been, listen, quick little talk. Listen, you got to slow down. But you know what? Okay, if you are speeding a little bit, Reek, listen, I know you got a game, baby. You can't be driving that fast through here. I got to give you a ticket. I got to give you a ticket, man. I got to do right by the law, but I'm gonna let you go on about your way. That's it. Simple.
Yeah.
It's over. Driver's license registration. I got to write this ticket. Just slow down for me next time. We got 7 more home games here. Next time you come through here, just be driving the right way.
Hopefully, we got more than that. Hopefully, we got more home.
Yeah. Most definitely, most definitely. But listen, I think it's a stain though. It's a stain on the Miami on the Miami Police Department. Because it's everywhere.
It's definitely not a good look. It's definitely not a good look, Ocho.
Over abusing your power just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, understanding the situation, understanding the circumstances. You know, Tyreek is no threat in this situation. He's not going to do you any bodily harm. I mean, you know that. So I think obviously it was very excessive and unnecessary.
So, yeah, but you know, I think the thing is, I mean, like Tyreek said, what if he wasn't who he was? And the thing is now, I think, you know, the cameras and a lot of times, and people like, well, body cameras on, you know, they're wearing body cams, and people like, well, Shannon, you talking about you don't get on the elevator with women? Do you understand there was cameras? Do you know how many times we've seen stuff on cameras and mofos walk up out the courtroom scot ass free?
Yeah.
And you want me to change that? Just my luck. Guess what? The camera ain't working that day. How many times there's a situation? Oh, the officer forgot to turn his body cam on, Ocho.
Thinking they slick.
I assume nothing.
The cam ain't supposed to come off. It's supposed to always be off.
The moment you pull somebody off, you're supposed to hit that button.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. Tyreek's okay. Probably a lot embarrassed, not a little, a lot embarrassed.
Yeah.
Because this played out in front of you know, you play in front of millions, but I don't expect to be handcuffed face down.
Yeah.
With a knee in my back.
Oh, not in my own city. Not in the city I play for. Come on now. No.
And then Tyreek, he did what Tyreek Hill does. He catches an 80-yarder.
Made light
to the house.
Made light of the situation.
7 catches for $130, 1 touchdown, the 80-yarder. And then he did by 10 a.m. they had his hand behind his back, and at 3 a.m. he had a celebration going with his hand behind his back. Hill and Jalen Waddle accounted for 211 of the Miami Dolphins' 400 total yards in offense. Tua threw for 338, 1 touchdowns. Jacksonville was the 9th best defense against the run last season, and they showed it. Miami only had 25 carries for 81 yards, but A-Chain had 75 rushing. Waddle had 5 for 109. Tyreek had 7 for $130. But this game seemed to be Ocho. This game was about to be put away.
But the Jags,
ATN, and dude comes and peanut punches. They get the ball, and 2 plays later, Tyreek. So what was about to be a 24/7 ball game, Ocho?
Right.
Now all of a sudden you get the ball at the 20, and 2 plays later, Tyreek's in the end zone.
Yeah.
And so now what was supposed to be 24/7 is 17-14.
Yeah.
Now you get the crowd's back in the game.
Yeah,
now the defense starting to feel good about themselves. But give Miami credit. Jacksonville had an opportunity to really put some distance between them. They were unable to do it, and it just in the blink of an eye, the momentum flipped just like that, Ocho. A 14-point swing.
That's why, you know, that's why it's 4 quarters. Because quarter 1, quarter 2 was all Jacksonville. especially on defense. That defense, boy, them boys were playing some goddamn ball on defense, man. Them boys was playing some ball on defense. And I told everybody, especially in the chat, I told y'all about Brian Thomas Jr. I told you, young boy is nice. I know Malik Neighbors gets all the hype, obviously, because he's in New York. Brian Thomas Jr., real deal. The Jag gonna be okay though. The Jag gonna be all right though. They gonna be all right.
I mean, I like what I saw from the Jags. You just got, when you get a team in that situation, Ocho, you got to put them away.
You got to put them away. You got to create some type of distance.
Yes,
you got to create some type of distance, especially when they have those type of players that at any point, no matter where you are on the field, when it comes to Waddle, A-Chain, and that goddamn cheetah that can hit the head off the goalpost from anywhere. When you get an opportunity to separate yourself, and that's the difference between the type of quarterbacks that are considered tier 1, that have those type of weapons, they put you away. They don't even give you no chance.
Because you know at any given time they can strike from anywhere. They're one play away. A lot of teams don't have that kind of potential. They have 3 guys. No, they got 4 guys. They got Cheetah, they got Waddle, they got A-Chain, they got Mostert.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
They got a guy. They got 4 guys that on any given play, and you strike the band up. Now you got to smell the deodorant. Referee raising his arms. You know what I'm saying, Ocho? So they got 4 guys. There are very few teams that have that kind of big play potential.
Right.
And I always, in chat, you've heard me say this. When you have the momentum, how much separation can you put between you and the team that doesn't have the momentum? Because eventually they're going to get it. And if you haven't put enough separation between you, guess what? They're going to track you down. We saw that with San Francisco. We saw that with San Francisco in the Super Bowl. We saw that with the Eagles in the Super Bowl the previous year. When you have the momentum, you better get you a lot of separation, because when they get it, where you might have had where you scored 2 touchdowns and kicked the field goal, they might go 3 touchdowns and all of a sudden, boom, ball game. So the Dolphins win. But that really wasn't the story. The Tyreek Hill being detained briefly, face down handcuffed for what they said was a speeding violation or moving violation.
Driving. I'm sure
speeding. They listed it as speeding, Ocho.
Yeah. Simple ticket. Simple ticket. Rectify the situation. Driver's license, insurance. Boom. Write the ticket. You go on about your business. There's no problem.